I'm Meg Brace, and I'm a studio art major with a minor in religious studies. And so for my project, I did a project about, originally my first project came from the Japanese architecture and its influence on Frank Lloyd Wright's design with a focus on falling water. And so I continued on with that and kind of created from that a house of my own design that incorporated both styles of falling water as well as the prairie style. And so with my original design, it has similar features as well as what falling water has in theirs. So I first looked at falling water, and so with my paper it gave a better understanding of what falling water was like and how its influence on Japanese cultures played a big part of how the design capabilities of falling water became. And so on with that, then I looked at the prairie style house, and so I looked at different images and some information, and so these are just some images that show what a prairie style house is similar to. And so this gave me a better understanding of how that looked. And so with some of my first sketches, I started out with drawing falling water, and so I could get a better understanding of what falling water really was as an architectural building. And then from that, I drew my original design of what I wanted to build. And so here is one sketch in the main section, and that's just like a frontward view of what the house would look like. And then on the bottom half is a second sketch which gives more of an aerial view. And so part of my ideas was incorporating the influence of nature from falling water, as well as like the natural light, so adding lots of windows. And so I wanted also from the prairie style, I wanted to incorporate the ideas of flatter roofs and the long horizontal planes. And so I incorporated that in the roof structure, but I also wanted to have like a walkway, so I incorporated long overhangs so that that would allow for a person to go out and enjoy the nature and be a part of it without actually have to leave their own home. And then here's another sketch I created, which was an alternative sketch that I thought would be a great idea to have in case I wanted to change my mind. And so while I was building this, I had many ideas and I wasn't quite sure what I was originally wanting. But I was thinking was a house on a hill, like falling water. And so with that, I transformed my idea by working with Dr. Wunderlich on his house and on his land, site design. And so also I created sketches of the prairie style house that are aspects that I thought might be helpful in my design. And so I decided to go out and see Dr. Wunderlich's housing area, and so these are some photos from his area. And this really played a big part in designing a house. And so finding what the land is looking like and where the hills are and how the different sun will affect the positioning of the walls and the windows and northern winds and where is north facing and what views can you see from different areas would all affect how the house would be situated. And so with all this, I used this to create a house, and I'm still creating, which will be my final project. And so this was a big project, and so it's giving me an experience of what it's like to work with a client. So it's a real world experience. And so I worked with Dr. Wunderlich, and we were having different discussions about what he thought he would like in his house and what this house's purpose was for. So originally we were thinking of an idea of a house being for a second house on his land. So for the first house that he has now, which you can see in some of the photos, is what he was thinking is either could be for his son as a house for in the future, or it could be a house for the Elizabethtown College and use it as extra housing. And so with this, we went and we sat down and had different ideas about what the interior layout should be like. And so this also was important because originally when I was first thinking about this, I was thinking the interior is very important, but I wasn't sure how I should incorporate the two together. And so with that, I used both the sketches we did together and the sketches I had in mind, and I'm creating a house that would incorporate both of them. because with one you can change the whole aspects of things, but you don't want the one aspect to dictate how the house will be formed. Such as, oh, well, you enjoy the exterior of the house, but because of the way the interior is set up, you can't have a fireplace set up, and because of that, you won't have the right angles in the roofing and everything set up properly. So I'm working back and forth between those two ideas and creating my final product. So with that, I will be finishing my product, and that will be in my portfolio.